Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Shea from Baruzzini, and I appreciate the opportunity that Bob and Joe from Pauley Jail provided to review some of the lessons learned on some of our current prison upgrade projects. It's been a truly collaborative effort, and I appreciate the great working relationship in executing some of the fast-track projects together. The first project I'd like to review is our work at the St. Louis Justice Center. After issues that many of you likely heard about, we received an emergency work authorization from the City of St. Louis to address security and operational issues at their downtown Justice Center. Due to the extremely fast-track nature of the situation, we were tasked to bring in the best partners to collectively respond and provide solutions to mitigate the security issues that were occurring, that included defeating cell locks, allowing inmates to leave cells, and inmates overpowering jailers at the day room control stations. Improvements included the phased cell door and frame replacement in the housing units. We did that by pod. A replacement of light-duty cell door locks with Brinks 5020 electronic locks. Replacement of door control systems with accurate control system. The initial locks and controls were no longer supported by Southern Folger, and the entire system had to be replaced. We converted pods from direct to indirect supervision, and how we did that is we added elevated secure control rooms and removed the control room stations within the day rooms. And finally, we replaced an upgraded security mesh at the fenestration and added sally ports with anti-climb heavy-duty wire fabric. I want to give a shout out to the team members, as it truly was a collaborative effort from the start and included all the entities that you see on the screen. Next, here's some photos showing some of the scope. A view of the original control stations within the day rooms that were replaced with the elevated secure control rooms that served two pods. We replaced the control stations within the day rooms and provided elevated secure control rooms up at the upper level, mezzanine. This is a view of the locks that were replaced. You can see we staggered the locks to make sure that the locks would fit in the new configuration. And lastly, you can see some of the cane metal mesh that was utilized at the window walls and to create secure sally ports at the entrances to day rooms. Some of the lessons learned: obviously expedited fast-track delivery works with the right team, a team that's integrated from the very start. Extensive upfront due diligence and site investigation are essential with all team member participation. So we had Paulie and some of the rest of the team at the site up front, collectively brainstorming and working together to provide our proposed solutions. Some more lessons learned were confirming and testing the condition of the control and power wiring at the project start, in addition to the UPS and power supplies, and also checking the hardware change-out capabilities to assure that it would fit within the jams that you saw. We confirmed equipment lead times and supply chains up front with the scheduled demands. As you saw, we staggered the lock assemblies, which addressed existing field condition restraints, and we found that we can enhance doors when we replace the doors by adding a cuff and food ports and the lower conspicuous glazing. So that's what we did and have ongoing with the City of St. Louis Justice Center. Next, I'd like to talk about our work at the State of Illinois Corrections. We were tasked with replacing electronic locking and control systems within 4 of the state's maximum security facilities that had aged and vintage control systems. Power supplies, PLCs, output modules, UPS consoles, graphic user interfaces, and touchscreen monitors and software were replaced. Here's a few photos of the before and after conditions of the control rooms. Some of the lessons learned: extensive upfront due diligence and site investigation are essential. Again, that's pretty consistent on most of our projects. We found that it was essential to confirm and test the condition of the control and power wiring at the project onset, in addition to the UPS and power supplies. We found that we needed to confirm and include phasing constraints within the construction documents so that our contractors fully understood the phasing constraints and included that within their bid. The existing UPSs were under the control rooms in crawl spaces and hard to access for maintenance. So we moved the cabinets to the control rooms for better access. Also, the existing control station modules were physically lower than the adjacent work surfaces, often creating some issues with spillage and other issues. And we found that some of the prison locations were networked to central station armories, providing ability to operate the entire prison from one location, whereas in other locations, they were not networked and only had local controls. While the door control system at the Lawrence Correctional Center was underway, we were asked by the state if we could execute a fast-track emergency work authorization for the replacement of cell locks throughout the prison. We responded with an integrated team that was able to provide design and RFP in 3 weeks, followed by a 2-week bidding period. Obviously a very quick turnaround, very fast-track project. The scope included replacing over 1,000 locks on swinging doors. We utilized the Brinks 5020 maximum security electronic locks along with the Willow Wedge units to provide the highest level security on those doors. The scope included the replacement of 132 sliding door locks, and we utilized the Brinks 5770 series maximum security locks there. The integrated team included the organizations that you see here, Paulie and the rest of the team here in the state at the table from the start. Next, here's a couple photos. A typical cell door will replace the existing unit with the Brinks unit and the Willow Wedge. And then here are some of the sliders that will soon be replaced. Some of the lessons learned involved the specialty contractors, vendors, and suppliers early so that early collaboration can occur. This was obviously essential to bring those teams together from the start. We found that new electronic locks draw more amps than the current locks, so the electric power units at each wing required replacement. We analyzed the existing electronic locks relative to compatibility to ensure that they can fit in the slots and to assure that wiring harnesses have enough slack when the locks got replaced. We confirmed hardware availability and lead times relative to the schedule goals that the state had demanded, and there was a need for a sole source justification letter for some of the hardware that were proposed. Projects have been a truly collaborative effort, and we appreciate the relationship with the partner firms and the opportunity to present today. Thank you.